Today is the day. I have my vintage Traxxas 4Tech. This is the original Generation 1 4Tech with a mechanical speed controller. A huge thank you to Wade Skelton. Please go check out his channel. He's an awesome vintage RC channel, and I'll post a link in the video description. So I'm gonna go ahead and open this up and show you what I'm gonna run today. This 4Tech is completely stock. I apologize for the awkward camera angle. I'm just trying to block the wind using a tree. At any rate, we have the stock mechanical speed controller, the stock 20-turn motor, and I believe the stock gearing as well. Now, this car does not fit a modern LIPO battery very well, so I kind of taped it in here with some Gorilla Tape, and as you can see here, I have my GPS on here. I want to see how fast this goes stock, and then after a few runs, I'm probably going to go ahead and run it with a electronic speed controller, but keeping it brushed. And depending on how it holds up, I'll probably then switch over to brushless, and maybe I'll do some speed runs with it and see how fast we can get this car to go. I have a previous video where I showed how I hooked up the mechanical speed controller, but for now I just want to go ahead and get a good run video in. It's in the low 80s right now, so I'm a little worried this resistor is going to get really hot, but the way they work is at lower speeds it's actually going to get hotter than if you go wide open throttle, because what's slowing it down is the resistance, and the heat's bled off here. So hopefully I can keep it at wide open throttle. I had a lot of good guesses on the top speed. Most people seem to think it would be 20 to 25 miles an hour stock, but let's see what it actually does. I'm really excited to get this thing out here. Hopefully it holds up, and unfortunately it's riding extremely low to the ground. I need to get some different screws to mount the shocks a little, to make the ride height a little higher, but we'll see what happens. All right, here we go. I have the GPS zeroed out, and it's reading, and I'm gonna go ahead and get this car buttoned up. All right, let's see what kind of speeds we got here. 25.7 miles an hour on the completely stock Traxxas 4Tech. Not bad. The brush motor is cool. The resistor it's not hot. I've been going mostly wide open throttle, so I can hold my finger on here about 10 seconds with no issue. But I'll go ahead and clear this out. I think it's going to get pretty long run times because, of course, I'm running a LIPO battery in here. It's a Traxxas 4200 mAh 2S battery, a good one at that. Granted, it is 8 years old, but it still runs really well. So I'm going to just drive it around now a bit. The steering's a bit twitchy. I may look to dial it down a little bit, but otherwise it's running pretty good. So certainly a little quicker than I expected. All right, let me get this thing back together and I'll get some more running in. All right, let's see what speed we got here. We're still over 25 miles an hour, 25.2 miles an hour. Not bad for a vintage car. It's electric. All right, let's see how fast it went after about 10 minutes of running. I bet it's still at least 24, maybe 25 miles an hour. I found a little helper here that's checking it out with me. All right, it slowed down a little bit, but 23.9, so nearly 24. The resistor's pretty hot, but not real hot considering how hot they can get. The motor, that's getting real hot, so I'm gonna have to stop running it, give it some time to cool down, but not a bad shakedown run. The brakes actually work pretty well in here, and it has multiple speeds. So there's the slowest speed. 1, 2, there's the medium speed. So I'd say there's at least 3 speeds. Brakes work pretty good. And there's also reverse. All right, guys, that's all I have for now. I don't want to go too crazy here. I forgot my low voltage checker and don't want to run into an issue where I potentially catch this car on fire or ruin my 8-year-old Traxxas LIPO. It's been really good to me. All right, I just got the car home and I was really worried I ran it too long, but no, it's fine. It's basically a storage voltage around 3.8 volts per cell, so that's great. But this car, a lot of fun. It really exceeded my expectations. Much faster than any of the cars that I purchased back in the late 80s or early 90s as a teenager that had mechanical speed controllers. I would have been thrilled with a car that went 25 plus miles an hour. So part of that's the newer battery, but you know, I think it still would have been a 20 plus mile an hour car on an old school NiCad battery. So thanks for checking this out. Please let me know what you'd like to see in the comments. Would you like me to continue on with this and go brushless with it? I'm kind of torn. You know, the parts are hard to find. I don't want to tear this car up. Although it could be fun to see how fast it can go on a mild brushless setup as well. So let me know what you think. Also, if you have one of these and can help me out, please let me know in the comments. I'm definitely a noob to this car. I'm still learning. And you know, I need to figure out a better way to mount the battery. I need to find maybe a tensioner to pull the belt up a little higher in the battery compartment, and a few other things like that. But hopefully this brings back some memories for some of you guys that owned one of these in the past. And yeah, that's all I have for now. Please give me a like and consider subscribing, and I'll definitely have more content on this car in the future. And again, a huge thank you to Wade Skelton for sending me this car out. Take care.